Hey guys, it's Rob, Sigma 3 Survival School, and today we're out here in our wickiup. This is one that we recently built in a primitive shelters class. We've just really blown out our camp. That's one of the reasons I haven't made any videos in a while. We've been doing construction, and we're essentially building the largest primitive survival camp in the country. We have one of every type of shelter almost, and we're really just kind of plugging away at creating some kind of elite survival training grounds. And this is, this is one of the things that we like to build. I like wickiups. I think they're fantastic to sleep in. And at this video series, we're essentially going to show you how to pimp your wickiup, the MTV Cribs Abo version. And, the first thing that we're going to teach you is how to kind of build a debris bed in the back of the shelter. And the reason that we like our bed in the back is because, most traditional teepees are, pretty steep in the front, and then in the back you flare it out a little bit more and spend more time putting boughs and making that area a lot thicker, because these type of shelters can be a ton of work, guys. This isn't something you're going to throw together real quick. This is a primitive living shelter. This is something, this is kind of your man cave in the woods. I suggest that people go out to the National Forest and try throwing one of these together. They're just really cool to hang out in. So if you haven't seen how to construct one of these, we've got we've got another shelter video. I think it's called the Ultimate Wickiup or something like that. So check out that video if you haven't seen it. But right now we're going to start showing you how to throw the bed together. So what I'm doing right now, guys, is I've got two larger logs right here, so that it lifts me up off the ground. And the reason that I'm doing that is because I'm going to be building my all-night fires right here in front of me. And by enabling myself to get up off the ground, that the heat from the fire can radiate up underneath my bed and warm me from the bottom as well as the top. So the first thing that you do is put a couple of these logs on both sides, and then you're going to take the bed frame, and you're going to have to custom cut each one so that it is the proper length and sandwich it together. And I'm basically going to build a bed frame that's all the way back to the back, and then we're going to build another layer over this and throw some debris in it to make it more comfortable. So basically everything that we do out here in the bush, and kind of how our school is centered, is we teach you how to make everything that we do with nothing more than a saw and a knife, and occasionally, if we want to carry it, we'll bring an axe. Okay, so once you get your platform built all the way back, you want to custom measure each piece, because the back of it is rounded, and you can do that with a piece of rope. Just hold it in place, and then, or you can just eyeball it. It doesn't have to be perfect. And the next step is to throw this top log on, and it's going to be a little bit rickety until you get your stakes in. And I've just got some cedar stakes. I'm going to take those and pound them in with the back head of my axe. You want your stakes to probably be, at least 24, maybe 36 inches. And I'm just going to stake this all the way across. Or I'm going to put 4 stakes in it just to hold it all the way up. And then we'll be ready for our debris. So what I'm doing right now is just basically taking the thin portions of the cedar boughs and processing those down. You want the thin parts, you don't want the thick parts. Obviously you don't want that stuff sticking you in the night. And having a cedar under you is going to prevent the debris that we throw up on top of this from falling down through the cracks in the bottom of your bed frame. And it's also good for bugs. There's a lot of reasons that you want to use this stuff. And one of the reasons we like to have this gap, I talked about, having the all-night fire, and we're going to do a keyhole fireplace here and a reflector and stuff like that, and that'll be the next video. One of the reasons we like to have a gap up under here is we can take hot rocks from our fire, push them up under here, and literally have our bed heated from the bottom up. So that can be another technique to help you improve this type of bed and really keep you warm in super cold environments. Alright, so I've got the cedar boughs cut up. It's looking pretty comfy, but it's not comfy enough for my taste. You know, everything that I do out here in the bush, you don't get any points for being miserable, guys. You know, like watching Survivor Man, you just want to feel bad for these people on TV because, and just having something as simple as a saw and a knife, and I can live like this. I mean, these are really the only tools I need to construct everything here, and an axe sure comes in handy too. So I've got the boughs in, and the next step is I'm going to add probably, you know, hopefully like a foot of nice leaves and debris on top of this to really give us, you know, kind of a good cushion and make it just really comfortable. Okay, so this is the finished product. Basically, we've got our bed frame, which is suspended up off the ground where we can throw our hot rocks underneath. Put in a couple of stakes to hold this outside log in. Then we took our cedar boughs, put them in the bottom to keep the debris from falling through, and then we put a good layer of debris. Now you're going to need to keep adding layers of debris as you sleep on it because you're going to begin to compress it. But after you get so many layers added to it and compressed, it's going to kind of just conform to your body. We kind of call this debris beds like survival memory foam. You know, this is a very comfortable setup. You know, it's fit just for my size. You know, I have the fireplace here in front, and that's kind of our next step. So make sure you tune in for part 2, and, you know, just share, like, subscribe, and, you know, tell your friends about self-reliance, because that's what this is all about, and that's why we do it. So tune in for part 2.